Hi, everyone. My name is Noah. I'm the friendly resident bureaucrat here. I work with the Small Business Administration. I'm in the district office here in San Francisco. There's 6 districts in the state of California, so we cover not just San Francisco, but the whole Bay Area and all the California coastal counties going up to Oregon and down to Santa Cruz. So Small Business Administration, and a couple bullet points, we support the small businesses in America. A lot of different ways. Make money available, we make training and mentoring available, have certification programs, a wide variety of programs. And I started with the SBA about 8 months ago or so, and when I first started, I was having a lot of difficulty going out and talking to partners. Almost everything we do with the SBA is a public-private partnership, and so our programs are more effective the more partners we have. But I'd go out and talk with partners, and they'd ask me questions like, you know, how many loans do you do, or who are you making loans to? And I'd say, well, please file a FOIA request. And then they could wait like 3 months and get a CD in the mail after paying some amount of money for the same data that everyone else was requesting. And so I pushed some of the people in DC, and we were able to get a lot of our loan data, national loan data available, which got posted to the website back in November, which is a really great opportunity. And a big reason that I came to the SF Brigade is, well, one, when they posted it to the website, they kind of buried it. And so we have on the SBA website all the loan data going back to 1991, 1.5 million loans to small businesses all over the U.S., along with addresses and who the bank was that made the loan and a variety of different data points. And, go back once, I forgot what I was going to say. So there's a whole lot of uses for that data. And the other reason I came to the SF Brigade was also because I have selfish reasons. And the question was, how might I, in my capacity with the SBA, use this for my own personal benefit? Because that's part of the reason of going and using open data, that both the public can come up with tools that make use of it, but then agencies themselves can adopt that and make their own work better, which also benefits the public. That's why all the data should be public. And so I came just kind of with 2 problems. One is that the impact and availability of a lot of our programs is poorly communicated. Businesses find out about our programs after they've maybe exhausted poor or worse financing options from, you know, whether they're credit cards or online lenders with really high interest rates, and then maybe if they survive those, they'll slowly eventually find out about the SBA loan programs. And then the other thing is, since all of our programs are public-private partnerships, I have that conversation. I go out, I talk with people, and they ask me about loan data, or they ask me about our impact, and I need to tell that story. So this data helps make it better, but you know, I can't just drop 1.5 million records on someone's doorstep and say that's what we do. I guess I could. But then the other thing is, in our office, we do a lot of outreach to different areas, and how we do it is kind of sporadic. It's based on relationships. It's based on a lot of people who have deep institutional knowledge that know where they need to go or where areas are not participating in the program very well. And all these people are retiring very soon. And that institutional knowledge will disappear, and it will go with them. So I want a little bit more kind of rigorous, rational way of deciding, you know, where should we be focusing our efforts and identifying those areas. So we start off I started off with a little bit of a prototype that we brought in, and we've been here just a few months or so that we started the team. And so we took the data and geocoded it, and oops, I guess I should look at the screen. So you can select specific data points, see the address, see the program, you know, how much was approved, the name of the bank, and the name of the business. Let's zoom out. There it is. And it gets ugly as you zoom out. But you can do interesting stuff like time series, and and all this is like communicating impact. So I think maybe I'll hand it over to Brian now to kind of start talking about our team here and where we're gonna maybe be going, where we want to be going.
Okay. So this is Sheffield's visualization. As you can see, the different cities are in a different color, and you can mouse over for more details. Something that we want to do to improve the storytelling aspect of Noah's job and what he does. So when he goes to a potential partner to sell the SBA program, something that really benefits him is knowing what businesses have succeeded and how to tell their story. So a cool tool that we could do is use their data to find how those businesses are currently doing. And we think that the Yelp Fusion API would be a perfect resource for that. So the steps to go about implementing this would be to use the data we have, use the data we have, match it with their current business name based off of the zip code, the address for when they applied, maybe the doing business as name. Then once we have the business name, we can go to Yelp, get their ratings and reviews, and then we can connect that story to potential partners.
And then also, I think we're going to build in some analytic measures to really identify low participating regions and high participating regions. But yeah, so that's where we are. Any questions? Yes. Wait for the mic's going.
Hey, how does your program determine that a loan was a success? Is it like a business's ability to pay it off, or what?
How do we determine
if a loan was a success?
Yeah, a successful loan is a paid-off loan. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, these are taxpayer dollars that are involved in that, and yeah, there are other metrics, but that is bare minimum.
What are they? Could you talk a little bit about the other metrics?
I mean, some of them are more qualitative. Right now, we're in the middle of National Small Business Week, and we identify businesses that are really standout businesses that have gone through, a number of different vetting processes for awards. I mean, it's like a storytelling aspect, both letting the people who have participated in the program speak about it, as opposed to us telling their stories. So that's kind of a qualitative measure of success as well.
So is the data limited to the Bay Area, or do you have data in other areas as well?
No, it's national.
National, okay.
Hi, I'm familiar with SBA, but I was wondering, I know that in the last couple of years, Small Business Week in San Francisco has gone a little bit more high-tech. However, does the federal government still consider any employer with 500 employees a small business?
The short answer is always yes on that one, which is kind of one of those things where, what is a small business? And they've rendered the definition of a small business somewhat meaningless, by saying it's 500 employees or fewer. There's also a revenue definition. So if you have the cap is that you have to have fewer than 500 employees and also have less than 5 million in revenue. But it also depends on your industry. When you get down into the details, the definition is industry specific.
Okay, and then another question I have about that is the classes that had been done at the SBA has mostly been concentrated on the brick and mortar store. Here in San Francisco, a lot of technology isn't necessarily brick and mortar, and more specifically, in the United States, the workforce, 40% of the workforce are now independent contractors, self-employed. Okay, and there seems to be not very much effort by the SBA in that corner of the small businesses. I mean, by definition, if independent contractors are small businesses, how can we ask that there be more attention paid to those of us who work by ourselves or in really, really small employer groups?
Yeah, so something that most people don't know is the SBA is also the largest microlender in the world. But we, in the same way that we don't make our loans directly, we don't make our microloans directly. We make a large microloan grant to a nonprofit, and we provide tons of microloans to incredibly small businesses, to micro businesses that a lot of them are home-based. A lot of them, the majority of the businesses that we fund, even though our largest criticism is that we have absurdly large definition of small business, but the majority of businesses that we do fund have fewer than 50 employees and fewer than and way under $1 million in revenue. And that issue about independent contractors is one that we've had since I started. We've had it probably 3 times now with the Department of Labor, because independent contractor is such a weird gray area. From Department of Labor, you look like an employee because you aren't allowed, a lot of times, you're not allowed to set your wages, you're not allowed to make decisions that seem inherent to being a business owner. And whereas from the Small Business Administration perspective, being a business owner means that you have the power to do those things. So independent contractors kind of fall out of Department of Labor standards and also out of small business owner kind of, out of our field. But I'm interested to see where that lands up, where that lands. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that. I can talk about that stuff forever. Yeah. Sorry.